I had Thai food at 11:30 p.m. last night, and I had to wake up at 4. Was it the correct decision? Probably not. Did my stomach hurt in the morning? Absolutely. Did I work through it? Yeah. Am I eating this vada pav right now? Of course. And I always will be. Today, on Off Hours, I visit the type of place that feels like an old friend. From the days of biking up to the north tip of Chicago after my morning prep shifts, to sitting with a vacant stare, pushing myself to eat after a week of struggling through fine dining services. Now, I'm more confident, more competent, but still aware there's still so much to learn. Stagnancy is the enemy, but throughout any journey, you need some stability somewhere. A routine, sunshine on a rainy day. Annapurna Simply Vegetarian is one of those sunshines. Always a place I overorder, always a place to both have a routine and try things at random. A place that has stirred my interest and research. Food of the most populous country in the world, where food changes quickly from region to region and town to town, and variety is plentiful and delicious.
Order number 280.
Hey everybody, it's Mike. I'm on my off hours again, just getting out of work on a Sunday. Just got off of a brunch shift. It's fantastic. And what's even more fantastic is it's my off hours and I get to come to Devon in Chicago. Devon is a street at the very north side of Chicago. There's a large Indian population on Devon and a large amount of Indian community over here. And this is one of my favorite restaurants to eat at when I come to Devon, which is Annapurna Simply Vegetarian. Annapurna Simply Vegetarian, the first time I came with a friend of mine that I was working with. He brought me, it was probably like 8-9 years ago, and it used to be a much smaller place, just a little storefront, and now it's grown to such a big place because the food is so fantastic. And I don't know, it's fast casual. You come in, you get counter service, they call your number. The food that you receive is fantastic and it's just so comforting. There's no stress about your day when you come in, and you can really just enjoy yourself. Right now we have the Rava Masala Dosa. So a Rava Masala Dosa is made with semolina instead of other wheat. And because of that, it creates a nice lacy texture that's not only very crispy, like a really delicious dosa, but it also has like a slightly different texture. It's a little nuttier, I would say. And in the Rava Masala Dosa in general, there's lots of curry leaves and like spices that are cooked into the flatbread itself. If you want to call it a flatbread, but it's a dosa. So you have like caraway, fennel, cumin seeds, plenty of different like cilantro and curry leaves, and there's also, because it's a masala dosa, that means it's stuffed with seasoned potatoes, turmeric, you can definitely see mustard seeds, onions, just a really flavorful thing. If you're here by yourself and you want to go home full, get a masala dosa. So here we have the sambar that the dosas are served with as a dipping side, or just something you can eat as like a little side dish. It comes with tur dal, which is pigeon pea lentils that are split, a variety of vegetables in like kind of a thin soup. It's absolutely amazing to dip any sort of dosa in. Also accompanied by chutneys. We have coconut chutney here, which has mint, cumin, some chilies in there. And over here, I'm actually not sure. I think this might be a red chili chutney. All of this stuff is so good to eat as like slowly dipping through. I always recommend, aside of just doing it to show you guys, that you should eat everything by itself first. Just kind of wait for the time to dip before you go in. If you're well versed in Indian food, of course do whatever the hell you want, but I think it's very important that you taste all the hard work that somebody put into this beautiful dish before you start using all the other delicious condiments they serve along with. And if you're unfamiliar with dosas, it's very similar to like a savory crepe. Most of the time, they can be softer, they can be crispier, depending on how they're cooking them. This is griddled, so it's definitely crispier. Also, the semolina helps it to get crispy. One of the reasons why I get this dish so much when I come here is that I come here with my wife, and she showed me rava dosas in Malaysia, and the rava dosas over there just kind of blew my mind. So anytime I come in, it's always like, do I get the regular dosa? Do I get the masala dosa? Do I get the rava masala dosa? They have a variety of dosas on the menu, and I really recommend trying them all. But there's something about this that is just so personal. After my wife showing me the rava dosa in Malaysia, that I can't get enough of it. So, all right. So here we have the kasta kachori chaat, which is another one of my wife and I's favorites when we come here. It also makes me really just appreciate food as it is, as street. Chaats in general are street food. It's something that you would get that has like a bunch of different flavors in it, bunch of different textures in it. It's something that you would grab off the street in India. Haven't been to India, I really want to go. So if any of you guys want to fund a trip, this dish in general to me is like all the work you see done in fine dining restaurants, all the work that you see, all these nicer restaurants that have like sit down, all great service, whatever. I know service is part of it, but this is an amazing dish. It is a puffed, almost like a puri, which puri is another crispy shell ball. This is made out of, I do believe it's made out of maida flour, which is like a lower protein all-purpose flour that is stuffed with a variety of things. I do believe they stuff theirs with puffed rice, bundi. Bundi is, I could explain each and every one of these things, but just to explain to you how cool this dish is that the top you have sev, which is a bunch of little crispies. You have yogurt, you have tamarind chutney, you have mint chutney, and cilantro as well. And then as you break it open, it is stuffed with a bunch of deliciousness, which you have the chana, you have the chickpeas, you have potatoes, you have turmeric laced puffed rice, you have, I do believe there's some crispy mung dal in there too. What is not fine dining about that? It's great. Layers and effort. Chaats are amazing because they contain multitudes. This one in particular has like a sweetness from the sweeter tamarind chutney. You have the coolingness of the yogurt. There's a little bit of chili in the mint chutney, so you get a little bit of a spice. But they all work together in like this crazy a range of flavors that is just so pleasing. If you've never tried a chaat before, I highly recommend it. It's like, it hits every sense. If you make nachos at home or something like that, it's hitting all your taste buds, but this does it even more so because it not only brings in the savory, the heat, the sweetness, but there's also texture in there. There's also, depending on the chaat you get, sometimes there's differentiation in hot and cold, which is a giant thing that cooks really love, and it's a really hard thing to do when you're trying to make a dish that has hot and cold elements to it, but somehow it's not upsetting to you. And chaats really contain, like, not all chaats, because some chaats are just hot, some chaats are just cold, but this one in particular, like, it has all of those elements to it. And what's better? Next dish I'm looking at here is bhatura, which is the name of this bread here. I hope I'm saying it correctly. It's like a fried bread. It's similar again to a puri. It's made out of maida flour, but then it's also leavened, so you know it has some poof to it, and it's also fried, so it has like this nice fried taste, and the shred on it is really incredible. It still has like some crispy bubbles to it. It shreds real nice, which is great for any sort of flatbread. And then it's great because not only is it soft, but and absorbent, but it also isn't falling apart when you use it to scoop things up. So this is the chole, which is the set with it. Chole is like a chickpea stew, similar to if you've ever had chana masala, but it is kind of its own thing as well. A very simple, I mean, simple if you know Indian food, but not simple if you don't know Indian food. Something that brings the acidity, the spiciness of an onion, and then there's some cilantro chopped in there too. So as you can tell, a lot of Indian food, you can really get all the flavors in one, and especially this restaurant gives you the option to enjoy all of your sensations, or all of these sensations on your tongue. So I already started eating this. I'll finish it now. And again, something I love about this bread so much is that it has a chew to it. It's like toothsome. It's not hard or crunchy per se. It has little crispy bubbles, but it's toothsome in a way that like is very pleasing. You feel like you're actually eating something, not just melting in your mouth. It's not white bread. It's got that fried taste to it. It's amazing. Now, whenever I bring my parents here, they come into town occasionally. They almost always come to Devon. My dad is, he can only eat vegetables, you know, or not vegetables, but he can only eat vegetarian. And this is a place that makes him feel like he's incredibly welcome. He doesn't have to worry about eating something that might not make him feel well. And he can just really enjoy himself because another thing, I came to Indian food from I was a vegan for 7 years. Before that, I was a vegetarian for 2 years. And Indian food was like a great way to get nutritious, like wholesome food that can be such a bummer when you first become a vegetarian or vegan or whatever. If you're doing it for good reasons, it's a really great thing. But you shouldn't have to suffer with Boca burgers and like fake meat bullshit substitutes. You can actually just enjoy yourself and all the plethora that other cuisines have if you're just like a Westerner. This will make your life so much more pleasant. So really engage in Indian food. If you're a vegetarian or vegan and you haven't tried it before, you're going to miss out because there's such a plethora of vegetarian options in Indian cuisine. So here we have vada pav. It's a potato cutlet sandwich, more or less. So it is a fried potato dumpling, cutlet, however you would like to call it. So it is something that I really like because there's a little pain behind it, depending on who's working in the kitchen. It's either very enjoyable and spicy, or very enjoyable and spicy. And I really like when it's very spicy. Like the heat that you get from it. Sometimes I get the heat hiccups. I'll start hiccuping, but I eat through it because I enjoy the flavor of the chili so much. I mean, it's a seasoned potato patty, probably seasoned very similarly to what is in the masala dosa. There's mustard seeds, curry leaves, and just turmeric, of course. That's why it's yellow. And it gets a hot chili chutney that they wrap the bread with. Sometimes it's made with a lot of garlic, or you can get it's basically like garlic bread, potato cutlet sandwich. If you're on a anti-carb kick, it's not for you, but you should give yourself some grace and try a vada pav once in a while because nothing will make you happier. I make myself get this almost every time that I come here because of the spicy aspect of it. Right now, it's getting me a little bit, but I don't know. I will have a whole dosa my wife and I will split a shot, and I will still try to fit a vada pav in, either while I'm here or to go, because it's hard for me not to want it. Devon is kind of far from where I live. Not that I don't come up here about every other week, but it's so sacred when I can come up here and get one of these. I really recommend getting it. The first time I had it was probably 6-7 years ago. And I think the thing that struck me most about it was somebody else explaining what a vada pav was to me. They're like, it's like a fried potato sandwich with spicy garlic bread on the outside.
So which one is this one? The super spicy one or just the spicy?
This one is spicy. And if you're not sweating when you eat once in a while, I don't think it's just not enjoying life. And yeah, I had Thai food at 11:30 p.m. last night, and I had to wake up at 4. Was it the correct decision? Probably not. Did my stomach hurt in the morning? Absolutely. Did I work through it? Yeah. Am I eating this vada pav right now? Of course. And I always will be. All right, so today in front of me, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 dishes, and these are just the sides for this dish. You can get it without these sides, but I recommend you do both. And if you're in the mood for like a quick snack, and you're only up here for a little bit, and you really kind of already ate, but you want something good, get the vada pav and get it to go. Eat it in the car. If you want to settle in for a little afternoon hibernation, which is generally what I do after I eat here, unless I'm shopping for the pop-up, I would eat this guy because it's a masala dosa, but you could get it without the masala, and you could just enjoy it as like a crispy, like afternoon tea snack. It's a little big for a tea snack, but come hungry and enjoy yourself. Any of the chats you get could also likewise be great as a snack or a full meal. If you're here by yourself...
Is that the spicy hiccup?
Nope, I was burping. If you're here by yourself, you can totally conquer a chat. There's samosa chats, there's multiple different types of chats, and it will cure all of your cravings in one meal. So that's why I would recommend getting a chat. I've been coming to Annapurna for like, I think I said 9 years, and that's not a lie. Ever since it was a smaller shop until now, I really appreciate what Annapurna brings to Devon. There are a lot of amazing sit-down restaurants that you can eat at in Devon, but if you want a stop off, enjoy a snack, not too much hassle, you don't want to sit down, look at a menu for 20 minutes, you don't want to have a full service, you just want somewhere that you can eat, enjoy yourself, ideally not see any of your coworkers because it's a little far away from your workplace. It's kind of disappear into the enjoyment and flavor of like a wide variety of things. They also have snacks to bring home, which I would highly recommend. They're busy. They don't need me to give them extra thumbs up. I really love this place, and sincerely, I come here almost every single time I'm in the area by myself or with my wife. So, Annapurna, thank you. You've made a vegan boy who turned into a meat eater still love eating vegetarian.